Hello YouTube, and welcome to the beginning of the review on the Altos -10 Fahrenheit or -23 Celsius mummy bags, sleeping bags by Teton Sports. Some of the footage I'm going to show you is footage that was sent to Teton Sports over the defects that I had in my first 3 bags that I purchased. After I sent them the footage of the defected bags, they sent me out 3 more, which is really generous on their part, for free. All I had to pay was shipping. But sadly, those bags had defects on them as well. Like, when I say defects, I mean loose threads. Also, besides the loose threads, everything's single stitched. Like, every baffle is just one line of thread going across. So if that line of thread fails, there's nothing else there to stop it from coming apart. And it's single stitched all the way through, and for $410, I don't believe it's worth that much money. I would say this is a $150 sleeping bag. I do have to say the temperature rating is accurate on it, so it does have that. Other than that, they're comfortable. The zippers are not as high quality as I expected when I initially purchased those 3 bags. So some of the footage I'm going to show you is footage of the bags that I sent to Teton Sports when they were defective, and afterwards, after I received my replacement bags. And they sent me out replacement bags, and I got to keep the old ones, but the replacement bags were just pretty much the same as the old ones. They had the same issues, which was loose threads, down leaking out, even though they advertised them as a downproof bag or downproof material on the bags. It still sheds down. The more you use it, the less that happens. But recently a thread did pop on one of the baffles by the feet. It came completely out, so there's nothing preventing that down from moving now, to the best of my knowledge. Anyways, I'll roll a bunch of footage, and then I'll come back with my opinion on it at the end. Okay. First off, here's the old 3 bags, the defective ones. And here's one of the new ones he sent me. I did not take the rest of them out of the compression sacks yet, so they're still factory machine rolled. But here, we'll go through the defects. Okay, here's one of the old ones. Look at that. Loose threads up by the zipper. Loose threads along the sides. I know there's loose threads. There's some duck down coming through right there. Okay, on to the next one. This one has loose threads. I'm just looking for it. Here's one of them.
Down coming out here.
And then there's down coming out right there. This one, once again, down coming out right there. And there's loose threads on this one too. I'm pretty sure they all have loose threads. And then here's the new ones he sent me. These 2 are still factory rolled. Down coming out right there. And this one I know because it was just hanging. I know that it has loose threads all over the place. Loose thread right there. Loose thread right there. Loose thread right here.
And that's on the new ones that you sent me. That's why I don't really want to open these ones. I'll store them.
So this is what I mean by single stitching. So this is one of the baffles right here. Okay. And it is just a single, oops, out of focus, hold on here. This is just a single line of thread going along this baffle. And on one of my bags, that thread popped and there was like a little tail of it sticking out. I gave it a tug, it started to come out, so I left it alone. And I tried to bite it off with my teeth, and that pulled it out even further. And it came completely out. I have footage of that, of what it looks like afterwards. I'll include that in the video here. And it's single stitched like that all over. Like, I don't think they used 2 threads on any seam in the whole bag. It does have nice loft. I gotta say, it's the loft is pretty good throughout the whole bag. Sorry, you guys keep going out of focus. The anti-snag zipper snags as expected, because that draft tube that runs down the side of the zipper there, it always gets in the way. So, and they advertise it as an anti-snag zipper because it's taped. But every single time I zip it up, I have to run my finger along that baffle to make sure it doesn't get caught in the zipper. So, I've been getting cold spots on the feet section, and I think that's because, see, it's just a 2 baffle design. If they would have done a bunch of skinny ones, that would probably helped out. Or cinnamon roll style, where it's a baffle that rolls like that, or vertical baffles going across here. That would have evened the down out more, because it does move around and then you get cold spots on your feet. Number 2 about the foot box is these here are only held in by 1 stitch, and one has come out of one of the bags already. I'm not at home right now, so I can't show you that, but I'll include footage of the holes, or the hole where it came out. Is that footage will be included in the video too. Number 2, Teton Sports is an American company, but note to all buyers that these are made in China. So that could explain a lot of the problems with these bags. Teton Sports has been very generous. I purchased 3. They gave me 3 new ones, but this is one of the new ones. And here, if I look around, you gotta look for it, but and I can't see it right now. Oh, right there. Get you guys in focus again. Loose threads. There's loose thread here. And they're in random spots on the bag. So the problem was with that whole batch of bags, like, and they're not very durable. In my opinion, these are made to be used in a tent. You can't really camp under a tarp with these, because if you slide off your sleeping pad and you're on the ground, the threads are going to get wet, they'll weaken, and then they'll fail. Sorry with the focus, guys. Anyhow, I'll roll some more footage and get back to you then. As you can, okay, sorry. I gotta get to focus here. Okay, as you can see the stitching is all there, but once you get to here, stitching is gone. And it's all the way like that right to there. And that was a thread that was just loose a little bit right there. I gave it a little tug and it started to come out, and then I tried to bite it off with my teeth and it just came right out. Also on this, where is it? On this bag here, right there, that's where the one hanging loop came out, exposing a little hole there and allowing that thread to probably come out under regular use a few times. That's why I suggested to you double stitching, because this single stitch, like if one stitch fails, there's nothing else there to hold the down in place. Otherwise, it's good on its temperature rating. I was just upset about this thread. Like, that's unacceptable for $410. So, also I forgot to mention that the stuff sacks with these are very cheap. I don't have them with me at the moment, but I've showed that in my past videos that two of them have ripped, and since then the handle on the bottom of one of the stuff sacks, it ripped off, and that's on my own personal bag that happened. So there's another thing to consider. If you buy one of these bags, you're probably going to want to get a different stuff sack, something that's been double stitched, that can handle the pressure of that bag inside of it. Because yeah, I do believe it's a little bit too tight for it. Like, I've never compressed the compression sacks down. I've only stuck the sleeping bag in it and pulled the drawstring and closed it. I've never actually used the straps on the side to compress it, and yet they still ripped. So I just went with a Bluefield stuff sack on Amazon. It was like $12, and it seemed to be working way better than the bags that are the stuff sacks that come with the bags. Just note that since I contacted Teton Sports originally, I told them on their next line of bags to double stitch, and they have sent me a message back that said they're double stitching their next batch of bags, which I watched one of their videos recently, and they came out with the Altos ultralight bags, and I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that those bags have double stitching all over them. That would definitely increase the durability of these bags. I'm not sure if the new Altos -10 Fahrenheit ultralight bag has double stitching, but that's just what they told me, is the next batch of bags in 2018 will have double stitching. So I thought I'd note that in there too. So, also note that the bag that did pop a thread on one of the baffles has never been used in wet conditions. It was always used in a tent or in a bivvy. All these bags have never been used without a bivvy or a tent, so they should be able to handle that. I could see maybe if it was laying down in the snow, or if it got wet, then maybe it would weaken. The one night when I used one of the bags in a bivvy, it did collect frost around the collar, I think for my breath, breathing on the bag a little bit, and then the cold air just freezing it. But it never actually got wet enough that it got the down wet or anything like that. And it did keep me warm that night. So, and that was in about -1 wet temperature. So that's another thing to note. Originally I spent $1,230 roughly on the 3 bags, and in my opinion, for one, I didn't look around as much as I should have before purchasing these bags, because I discovered that for about the same price I could have got bags that go to -40 for maybe a little bit more than what I paid for one of these bags, and that's through wiggies.com, and they have bags that go to -40, and they're just like a little bit more expensive than these bags, which were $410 on Amazon. And the Wiggies bags, I do believe, are like maybe $500 to $600. So just a little bit more, but you get way larger range of temperatures that you can use it in, and the quality of their bags is unbeaten. So that's another thing to note, and I do recommend Wiggies bags. From what I've researched, they are top-notch, American-made, high-quality bags, manufactured in the States as well. So, anyhow, there's another loose thread right there, and this is on one of the new bags that they sent me. This is my own personal sleeping bag. Another loose thread right there. Like I said before, they're pretty much all over the bag. There's another one right there. It's out of focus. And that's on these. This is on the bags that they sent as a replacement to me. So that just shows that it didn't really solve the problem. I just got 3 extra bags that are pretty much going to deteriorate the same as the original ones that I picked up. So I didn't mention it before. I'm going to mention it now. These bags, according to Teton customer support, are 550 power down, and it is treated with a mountain dry down, or the down's treated with mountain dry. I don't know what that even means, but that raises a good point that I noticed on the box of these bags. It says this product contains materials that are known to cause cancer or whatnot in the state of California. Something along those lines. I don't have the box here. When I get back to my house, I can read it, actually right off the box for you. And that made me think that they're treating the down with something, and obviously it isn't something good. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I will read that to you straight off the box once I get home. This review is over the course of a week. I'm just every now and then adding a little more of my opinion, and just as it comes to my mind, basically. So that's another thing that concerned me, is what are they putting on this down to make it waterproof or water resistant. Okay, here's another look at my personal bag. See how it's single stitched all across each baffle. This bag only has loose threads, so it's in fair condition. That's why I chose it as my personal go-to bag. I'm just going to give you a look at it. I'll get the dimensions of these bags. Here's the loft. So you can see that it's fairly lofty. So yeah. Here's the Ultra Puff hood, which I really actually quite enjoy that. It would be nice if they included a little down pillow to go in there too, just so you're not, because I find that my head gets uncomfortable, and yeah, it would be nice if Teton would just include a little down pillow to go with this. I'll give you a look at the inside. So yeah, here I got it unzipped. The zipper does go all the way down and runs right off the track, but you can put it back on the track nice and easily. This is the draft tube that gets in the way when zipping it up. And I'll show you the inside. We got a little zippered pocket right there. The neck baffle right here, which could have been more fluffy. They could have filled it a little just a little bit more. But once you cinch it tight, it doesn't really matter. Hot air does not move out of the bag that much. And like, that's one of the pros with this bag, is it is warm. It is an accurate temperature rating on it. I'd say it would you'd start getting cold around minus 17 or 18, something like that. But that's for a cold sleeper. I'm a cold sleeper, so maybe a warm sleeper could push it right to the limit, which would be minus 23 Celsius. Yeah, so here's your puppy hood, neck baffle, and the one sleeping bag where the stitching came out of the baffle, that would be down by the feet. It was second baffle down. So, but that one was used more than any of the other ones. Which it still, these should last you years. They should just double stitch, and that would probably help a lot. I'll try and zip it up with one hand because I don't have a tripod, because I just want to show you how it gets snagged on that baffle, or draft tube, sorry. Oh, it's not going to do it this time. It's making a liar out of me. Oh, okay, that one was smooth. But when you're in it, just take my word for it, it does get snagged. Anyhow, I'll roll some more footage. So, my thoughts on this bag. Construction of the bag, I would rate that as not the best value for your money. Warmth, on the other hand, it is it's a warm bag. So if you're looking for warmth over durability, then this might be the bag for you. If you just are going to use it once a year, in the winter months, it might last you a few years. But if you're a bushcrafter or somebody who frequently camps in the winter or rainy seasons, especially without a tent, this thing, I don't think it will hold up for very long at all, to be honest with you. Even putting it in a bivvy, that constant agitation of it rubbing against the bivvy might weaken the threads on each one of these baffles there. And then, to the best of my knowledge, and just what I think, is the down would be able to move throughout the bag then, because it looks like that's the only thing that holds the down in the baffle. I could be wrong, but that's just going by what I see. I'm not going to cut one of these open and see how they're actually constructed. I don't have the money to do that. So, and I did pay for this with my own money, so so the pros are they're very warm, up to minus 23 probably. I'm guessing they'll be good to that. Survivability rating, definitely. They could have done more to make this a better bag, and they might have, because they did come out with the Altos ultralight bags now within the last couple weeks. I watched a video on it, and they did tell me when I contacted them about the single stitching, I recommended that they double stitch their next batch of bags, and they claim that they did. So that would be something to ask the company maybe before you purchase. And that's Teton Sports. I do believe they're out of okay, brain fart, I don't know. I'd have to look it up, and I might throw it in there.
Another thing that concerned me is what are they coating this down in, because it said on the box that there's materials or compounds that are known to the state of California to be cancerous, or something like that in the box. And I will read that off to you before we wrap up this review. For $410, you could get a better bag. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You could get a better bag. A more durable bag. A bag that has higher temperature or lower temperature rating, so you can go into the sub-zero temperatures and to Arctic temperatures, like Wiggy's. Their bags, their design is a 2-bag system, and it can push you up to -40. So -40 Celsius and Fahrenheit are the same thing, so that's a great option right there. And I've heard nothing about Wiggy's but good things. So they're a little bit more expensive maybe, but it depends on what you value more. A lightweight down bag or synthetic bag that has a really good reputation, that's manufactured in the USA, not in China, because I don't know. The zippers on these seem like really cheap. I've never had an issue with them, but they don't look like they'll last long, especially in a survival scenario, which is what I bought them for. I bought them for a bug out bag. So, and I'm kind of wishing I went with a Wiggy's bag at the moment. But I got what I got. Teton did try to satisfy me by sending out 3 more, but sadly they were in the same sort of condition, I would say, with the loose threads and stuff like that. This bag right here that you're looking at is one of the better ones that has the least amount of issues with it. Like I showed you earlier, it's got a loose thread by the zipper there, and then there's several loose threads on the other side, on this side here. All in all though, I seriously think this bag should be valued at around 150 to 200 bucks. That's the max that I would want to pay for it if I could go back and do it again. And then, yeah. So I'm just gonna wrap this up right now, and thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. There's my beautiful daughter.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, baby.
Hi, baby.
Yes, you're a baby. Okay, so you guys like, share, and subscribe. Comment if I missed anything. I'll throw the dimensions and stuff of this bag up.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys have a nice day. This wraps up part 1 of the Altos -10 Fahrenheit sleeping bag, mummy bag system. Part 2 should be out in a week or so, and that'll include the writing on the box, dimensions of the bag, possibly more video footage. It'll be definitely shorter than this video. It'll just be a final wrap up. But I'm gonna upload this video now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe, comment, and see you in the next video.